Okay, I am theoretically streaming, but I don't know if it's working. It's been a long time. Let's see where we're at. Oh, look at that. We're live. Okay. So, the gear. Here we go. No warm-up, which is not a good thing, but we'll get started. Let's start with a warm-up. This looks a little bright. I don't think you can see anything. This might be a bit better. Alright, the basic warm-up. Gonna do a few lines, gonna do a few ellipses. My hands are cold because my heater was down yesterday. And my house is still warming up. But we're gonna do this. And after that, we'll draw a little spaceship or two. How about that? So if you're learning to draw, these are good exercises. Just do some lines in different ways. Here we're just putting two dots and trying to go in one go from one to the other. You can also very slowly try to do the straightest line you can. And another. And so on and so forth. This will only take a minute, then we're going to draw something funnier. Oh, and hang on, I don't know if I have my chat here. I do have my chat. Everything's fine. I hope the image is alright. I haven't done this in months and months and months. This is just to get the arm going. But there's a couple of you here now, so hello Ramu. When did I start drawing? This one before drawing. Oh Dev, hello. I don't do it often enough. I should do this every time, and I don't. Usually, honestly, the first drawing of the day is my warm-up. But I used to do pages and pages and pages and pages of these, and they're good practice, and you should do them. So Just, you know, a bunch of circles, bunch of ellipses, bunch of straight lines, everything you're going to be doing in your drawing. It's a healthy thing. But enough of that. Let's see if I can get you in a bit closer to the action. You hear me okay, yeah, by the way? Everything's fine? Alright, cool. So I need to get this a bit closer down here. Something like that. Then we get a refocus. We're pretty much in focus. So spaceship, I was thinking about something small and easy to get started. No ruler, just sketching, freehand stuff. Again, good healthy practice in ink. You might want to work in pencil. I like to work in ink. So, yeah, let's do a box and pick it up from there. I'm going to set up a couple of vanishing points. And we're going to draw a box. Normally I actually work, this is a 0.4. When I do these at home now, I use a 0.25, which is well, a lot thinner, but I don't think you'd see the lines if I did. So we're going to make it face that way. I'll be moving the paper quite a bit. I hope that's all right. It'll have to be because you don't have much of a choice, so. Well, this is a bit, yeah, that'll do. Maybe a little longer. I shouldn't worry about all these lines. They'll ultimately kind of disappear in the drawing. So all we do now is a box, which is where our spaceship will stand. It doesn't have to be super sharp. Okay, I want small scale, so I don't want to do something huge. I'm going to do something with a pilot and some engines, basically. And I think I want to make it asymmetrical because I have something in mind for the cockpit, and I don't want it to look like something else that it would look like if I made it symmetrical. So, proportions. Let's say our cabin thing is going to be about a fourth of this, third, fourth, somewhere around here. And that way I can also use another line I already have here. Never skip the construction stage. These lines are your best friends. Okay, and I said asymmetrical. And I'm going to put the cockpit a little on the far side. Again, I don't have a real plan. I don't have a lot of ideas right now. It's going to come as we draw. And for the record, thank you for dropping by. I haven't done this in, I don't know, a year. I haven't uploaded anything to YouTube in like 8 months. But it's been complicated times, and I haven't had the time or the energy. But I kind of missed it, so here we are. Yeah, okay, let's say this is going to have a bit of a slope here. And it's not going to go down all the way down there. Something like this. There's going to be a lot of turning the page. If anybody has any questions at any point, do not hesitate Okay, so this one will go there, and this one. We're not trying to be clean or anything at this point, just get some ideas flowing. So there, I want the glass of the cockpit to be somewhere around there. So we have a front, we have a back, we have a rough idea of how wide it's going to be. And we're going to have to make it sexy. That's going to come in a bit. So for this one I have this flat glass thing in mind for the front. I know I want to do another one down there, which is going to be a bit more complicated. But let's go. So asymmetrical, that's a good idea, but how do I make it funky? Maybe just maybe we can. What if we did something around here on the side with a bit of a curve and some engine thing? So to throw a curve, let's say we want it here. At this stage, I just want to put shapes on top of each other and see what happens. This will be a simple one, probably too simple, but it's warm up. Anyway, Dev, how's things? Maybe this extends below. Would that be fun? This is as much an exercise in streaming as it is in drawing. And boy, am I rusty. I haven't drawn in a week, by the way. Alright, my dude, good to hear it's okay now. I got really basic shapes here. I need to make this more fun, so we're gonna add stuff and things. And I shall be eyeballing most of it, which is probably a mistake. Ooh, you get a tablet. And a laptop. Oh, Jesus. I work cheap. These are so cheap. So nice. I had a tablet, but I sold it. And I still have an iPad. But I don't like using it. Okay, I'm not super stoked about this flat surface here. I'll see if I can do anything about that, but... I don't like stopping and pausing and thinking about things. I think it usually works better when I just draw. We will clean all this up in a moment. Yeah, the tablet I had was the same kind as yours, different brand, but same stuff. They were great, but I don't. I like paper too much. Where's this go? This goes here. So that's here. Oh, this is messy. Okay, I'm just gonna cut into these shapes until other ones appear. I think with the way I designed it, it would look like it could be symmetrical, so I'll make sure on my next one to be more clever. Sketching in ink, Ramu, is probably the best advice I was ever given. Um, Teaches you a lot of good stuff, like not being afraid to commit to lines and not be afraid of making mistakes. You just learn to deal with them. I think it's really good practice, and I think you should go for it. Don't be afraid. I am so not being careful with this one. This is the warm up. We'll try to do something a bit funkier below this one, but gotta start your day somewhere. I'm actually gonna put a thicker outline on this thing. I think we got the shape done. Another cheap pen, Papermate Flare medium. And I think is really good for this kind of work. I've been practicing my brush pen as well, but I'm out of ink. What do you draw, Ramu? I'm curious. And how long you been doing it? And I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, by the way. I could say the French way, Ramu, but I don't think. That's how it goes. Miles! It's been ages indeed. Good to see you. We're doing the warm-up, which is also an exercise in polishing a... Well, that is part of the game. And I'm good, my dude. It's been interesting times, but things are settling down. Okay, I'm gonna put a bunch of cut lines everywhere because they're your friends. And I have to sneeze, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. How on earth am I gonna texture this thing and make it look interesting? Merci, Dev. Ooh. All right, I thought for a while I'd leave this as a glass cockpit, but it's gonna need something. I have this thing where I basically don't like big empty spaces. Oh, Miles, my Instagram is actually going the opposite. It's going down these days. I haven't been able to post daily or nearly enough. My reach has gone down like crazy, and then Instagram has been going crazy last month. It blocked my account for suspicious activity, saying that I basically shared my password with a third party to gain followers and likes, which I assure you I did not. And then it flagged 2 or 3 of my posts for violence or nudity. And we're talking fully clothed EVA suit astronauts. And what was the other one? I can't remember, but madness. So I'm a bit crossed at Instagram right now. And I'm also trying to, play more with different platforms, but it's hard. It's a lot of work. Yeah, and it's at 18,000. It was 18 point something, then it went down to 17.9, and now I'm struggling to keep it where it's at. So it is going to go down. There's just no doubt about that. Sadly. Well, Instagram was never easy. I mean, I'm glad it exists because I'm from a time from before the internet. And there's just no way without it that I'd be able to put my stuff out there. I'm an introvert. I live on a small island. Uh, not many opportunities really for me to do much. But thanks to Instagram and Reddit, I've been able to put a lot of stuff out there and get some work and stay motivated to learn. Um, so I'm not complaining. It's just it is hard enough when it's not actively fighting you. It's like getting restricting posts and blocking accounts. That really really freaking hurts. But no choice. Yeah, thanks, Miles. I'm trying. I'm trying to keep on learning and trying to keep doing new stuff. I had a very harsh critique from people I can take seriously. Um, where they said that my images carried no narrative and um, well basically sucked and lacked the human element. And that's where the astronaut series came from, which in itself was actually fun to do. But if I'm not, I figured out if I'm not drawing, machines and in environments like cold, dead stuff, I end up doing surrealism. If I have to put a human figure somewhere, I go weird. But hey, that is not where it should be. So now it's like that. That's how it is. All right, this big surface here is not very nice to look at now, is it? Um, and this bit needs thingy jiggies and the likes. So let's go with a what if. So now what do I do with that? We do this. Don't ask me why. Well, there's definitely introspection going on in art. I mean, and there's a reason why I like drawing machines and things like that. There's the obvious fact that I hate people, and then I've always been in love with technology and space stuff. But most importantly, it's a nostalgia thing. I'm a soon 50-year-old man. And for the last 20 years, I think I've been chasing my childhood. So I like to draw stuff from when I was a kid. And I could have gone the anime way, because we did have some in the 80s. But the sci-fi movies, that's where it was for me. So this is going to end up being quite panely, and that's alright. I have to figure out what to do with this. Hang on, let me put some coffee in my ears and some music in my cup. Oh yeah, man, Predator, that's a good one. That's a good one. And Predator 2 is actually not as bad as I recalled. I saw it not that long ago again. Oops, that's not a proper curve. We'll pretend it is. This one's warm up. Remember, it's okay. Don't feel stressed. Yeah, okay, this thing. How do we make this thing better? Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, the second one is kind of darker, which isn't bad. But it doesn't have Arnold, so it is very different. But mostly the second one had me at the very end in that spaceship when you see the xenomorph skull. I mean, I remember pausing this on VHS and going, "Is that what I think it is?" That's a crappy one. So basically, this one is just a blob of shapes. I'm putting all the elements that should make a nice spaceship, but I've not been thinking about design in any way, shape, or form. So we're gonna put a base shade and color on that thing, and we'll move to something more interesting. Let me grab some markers. So, neutral gray too. Have you read the Aliens and Predator novels? No, I have not, and nor have I read the comics, which apparently are just really good. But between the kids, the various diagnoses, not really. Actually, over the last 10 years, it's only like a couple of years ago I've started finding the time to watch some movies every now and then, or read something. I got 3 books I started. I need to finish. So I got a neutral 2, neutral 4, neutral 6, and I'm just putting it on whatever surface is on or away from the light, which is basic enough. You have the novels, like the Dark Horse stuff? This is another layer of number 2. Oh god, okay, yeah, bring it on. Cool. Alright, that's coming from here. There's going to be a weird shadow here. We'll figure that out with this thing. Knowing that first there's a little one there. And this will carry onto this. I'm doing what you shouldn't do, which is eyeballing drop shadows. Very bad habit, don't do it. It's because I'm lazy. And I have to learn and blah blah blah. Okay, let's say it's reasonably low, so it's going to go here, because that allows me to go a little higher here, which makes a nice little... And this in turn... Well, if I did this, then it goes down a little here, and then I guess it's something like this. I guess. The proper way to do those is not insanely complicated, but it's like perspective. It's like simple rules, but you need to practice them a million times if you want to get them right. You need to figure out a light source. Let's put it here. Then you have a vertical that goes there. Then you have to choose your light direction. Which I guess here would be something like this, because it's pretty low. And then basically you'll use these two to figure out at a corner here up to where, following the direction, you would go. I'm not saying it right. There's a lot of very good lessons and tutorials about this out there, and they'll say it a lot better than me. I'm a terrible teacher, which is why I don't teach. I can show you what I do and talk about it, but that's as far as it goes, really. But yeah, I'm just sort of guessing things here, and actually this shouldn't be straight because this is at an angle, so this should also be at a slight angle here, at least until here, and then straight. Something a little like that. Then this one has one too, and it's mostly on this side, but it's a reasonably long shadow, so to make it coherent, I guess. And then this one should be more little. See what I did there? These two don't really match. So my choice is either to move this one straighter or move this one further back. I don't want to move this one further back, so I'm going to move this one straighter, which means, yeah, my light source is very much on this side of the thing here. I think that makes a little more sense, I guess. Experiment, play around, have fun. This is the way. And when you experiment, like here, you fail, but that's okay. We're here to play around with things. And we can distract from this somehow, probably. Let's see let's get back into it in a moment. Let's focus on something else. Again, I don't care how pretty this one is, it's just warm up for the one to come. And this is how I practice, this is how I challenge, this is how I learn. I just, go about and try put a shadow on a shape I haven't done before and see how it works. Or where I failed, most importantly, so that next time I can try and be better at that bit. Okay, I have an area of super high contrast here, which is where the eye will go, and that's where I've messed up, so I need to pump the contrast a bit to get the eye away from it. So we're actually going to use a 4 here after all. shapes are getting a little lost here, but I'll get them back with highlights. Gonna darken the bright spot as well. Sorry about all the clunking and clinging and bling 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 noises. I'm about to get a new desk. Oops, wrong marker. Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna buy a new desk that doesn't rattle and move and stuff. But it's $800. Anyway, this crappy one I'm not happy with is almost done. We're gonna throw some highlights on it, and for that I'm gonna use something very bright. Just gonna use a Posca pen. You can limit yourself to where the light would hit, like here and there. But ultimately you can go on pretty much every panel and cut line. Someone wants to make a VR spaceship racing game. I worked on one, but it was a bit of a weird project. It was linked to NFTs, which I don't do. But they did a game in which it was a mobile and VR game, in which you had a spaceship going through a weird environment, and I designed the hero ship and some of the non-playable ones. That was fun. The Posca is actually a little too bright for what I'm doing here, but that's okay. I have other tools that I'll use on the next one. Anyway, done with this one. Now let's think about design a little more. Give me a second. We're gonna start the same way. We're gonna draw a box. I need to make sure I'm still in frame. Oops, my window disappeared again. Ah! Give me a second. I made a mess of my desktop. Where did you guys go? Ah, there you are. Okay, I'm back. I got my chat here. I got my window there. Okay, let's make it face the other way for fun and variation. We're going to put the vanishing points pretty much in the same place. Or not. Okay, let's change things a bit. A bit more of a side view. So here and there. And we're going to be facing there. Something I tell everybody who's practicing cubes and shapes. Always draw through it. Don't just do the faces you see. Do the ones you don't. It will help your brain learning how to visualize shapes in 3 dimensions. And it will give you useful guidelines for when you build inside that cube. Alright, very small ship. Let's make a pod thing. This will mostly be my cockpit, and I think I will add here something. So anyway, let's go. We're going to make it a bit smaller because we're going to put things on top. So maybe this high. And down to here. And we're not going to make it too simple. Inside this box, we're going to draw more shapes. Find the center of this, which is about here. And center. Okay, this is going to be the full width of the cockpit, but I want the canopy to come down to a bit of a point. Let's say something a little like this. Actually has more angle than I wanted, so we're going to make it smaller. Don't be afraid of guidelines. They are your best friends. Yeah, that's more like it. And this goes about here. Okay, I'm making my life complicated here, but that's the idea. Sorry if I don't talk much, but my small brain is fully engaged in this right now. Into making not too much of a mess. Okay, this is a bit of a more interesting shape. It needs something big on top. Maybe. Yeah, let's use some lines we have here because they're there. You got a table at a HobbyCon in April? Where, Copenhagen? I gotta come check it out. Uland. Alright. I'll pretend I know where that is. Oh, on the island. Okay. Cool. Okay, what if this had like a pod thing there? Damn, it's been an hour already. How many to break soon? Yeah, let's make my life impossible and do a conical or cylindrical rotating thruster here at an angle. And as I say that, I have no idea how to build it. Okay. Well, it's going to be in a box. That box is going to be taller than the side of the ship. And maybe I'd like it to hide the complete bag, or I can change that later. Anyway, so it's probably going to be from up here to down there, and it's going to be somewhere in there. Yeah. Or should it be hinged on this? Oh, that could be impossible because now I've got this drawing here. Ah, okay. Thinking. But it could be hinged here. This doesn't have to be in the center of the thruster. It could be on the top. Like if I have a thing like that, it could be hinged here. And a little tilted, something like that. Okay, let's get the brain gears working. Oh, I have no idea how to do this properly. Okay, I guess we'll maybe see a little bit of the yarn that connects it here. And then it's going to be tilted like this. And this will be if I did a straight on box here, that would be if the box was straight, it would be a little like this. But I want it tilted like this. So we would have something a little like this. It's gonna get. I'm guessing this is really super messy. I need to build it all together. But, you know, again, I'm not trying to make pretty drawings here. This is sketching and problem solving. This is the sort of sketch that might, later do a drawing. Is just throwing ideas, so it really doesn't matter how messy it gets. And I think I've got something that works here. If let's see, if the construction is not too bad, then these two should be friends. Like if we have see, that's a something's appearing here, which is not completely wrong. Oh, and apparently viewers are experiencing buffering. I have a widget. Stream status is poor. Let me see if I can make that better. Give me a sec. Okay, with any luck, it will be better now. I will see. Anyway, I've got something appearing here which kind of makes sense. So I'm going to go with that. Hey, Crispy. It's been a very long time. Oh god, I made my life even more difficult without trying here. Because this is so long that I think it would actually... You would see the other one somewhere around here. Again, now there is a way to make a perfectly symmetrical drawing, and that would involve using modeling planes. Basically, I'd need to cut the front here into a plane, find the center, made a plane on the other axis, and project this onto the other side. I don't want to do that right now. So eyeball. Let's see. I can figure out that it should be about... The top should be somewhere around there. Bottom of that ellipse around here. The question is how far. And Reminds me of a gas mask. Yeah, I put a nice little nose on it. Again, yeah, I guess. This kind of makes sense, right? I'm gonna say it does because I have to. Yeah, let's make more weirdness. I want to replicate this angle here, and for that I need, well, it's pretty much on, it's almost on my horizon line, so it's here and goes there, which means that this one on this line, oh, that's tricky. About here. Something like that. Let's have more fun and put more weird protruding shapes. Like right here. Why wouldn't we have something that goes in all directions? Like it's gonna be, the top's gonna come out, and it's also gonna be facing the back a little bit. So that doesn't look right. Oh yeah, because this, and okay, would go more like that. More window, but not a straight window. This could be our door. Have to build, shitload enough done to do, blah 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 blah, get a shot me free next. I will, and that is like super seldom. But I will do. Same to you. Have fun. Thanks for dropping by, mate. Okay, I'm gonna have to eventually think about the back of this ship at some point. But that point is not now. Now we want doors and windows. And we would like this a little more. Yeah, okay, it's messy, but it'll do. What was that about? No, OBS disconnected and reconnected. I'm gonna hope you guys are still here. So yeah. That's a stupid line I've made here. Can I extend this? Bah. I guess for the back I could just be lazy and have it hidden. Plain window. Just something simple. And OBS keeps disconnecting apparently. I'm very sorry about that. Alright, we'll figure out what we put up there. Alright, sorry for the silence again. This is me thinking. Okay, we can put an outline on this because I'm not going to be adding any more shapes. I'll try to correct an ellipse or two on the way. Okay. And now, a bit like before, we're just going to throw some base color. Should we stick this with the same? Yeah. Let's use what I have. Except we're gonna go darker. There we go. Where are we gonna have our light on this one? From there, so I don't have to project the shadow of that thing on here. Let's not make it too complicated. Nope, looks like stuff froze. If anybody's still here, please let me know. Oh, that doesn't look good. Smooth on your end. Okay, cool. It's just my preview is stuck. Okay, more thinking about how to do this somewhat properly. I'm gonna throw a hint of yellow on this one. So what do you think of this one? More fun? It's more fun to draw, that's for sure. No, I have to use the darker one here. I'm just gonna darken this up. Just one more layer of that marker. Try and keep this down to 1. I'll get the line work back by putting some more ink in a sec, and again the highlights will help bringing it out. This should be quite darker because this is in the shadow and needs some here too. See, I'm not super clear about my light source here, so that makes it a little tricky. So I guess some of it here is in the light. This is definitely in the shade. I'll keep the shade, the shadow here light. So let's say it's coming from upright. Meaning to message and let you know I was lucky enough to get 1/10. Oh, sweet! Thanks a lot, man. Yeah, that job is not doing great because I just don't have the time or probably skill to promote as I should. But I'm glad that some drawings found their way to good places, and the prints are really sweet. I mean, I like what those guys do. You gotta be darker as well, but that bothers me. Let's see if we can use another gray instead to make it stand out a little bit. Oh god, this is too dark now. Okay, we're gonna make this work. We're gonna make this work. Relax. Yeah, my light is a pain. So okay, I'm gonna say it comes quite from the front, a little from this side. So that's gonna make a lot of this in the light. But then I got this, which already says that my light source is somewhere around there. And if my light source is somewhere around there, I'm gonna have shadows everywhere. Such as, because from there to there, filling those two gives us a line that says roughly where the light source is. That means that only half of this ugh, what have I done? I made my life complicated. Thinking what this is. I imagine some kind of thruster. But I have a vivid imagination. I guess there can be a little bit of this in the light, but not before here. And clearly nowhere here. That makes some kind of sense, I think. Okay, we're keeping it loose so we don't care too much. This would throw a shadow pretty much on all this stuff. We're gonna cheat. Put some black around this thing to make it stand out. It's not cheating, it's called putting a background, and it's a good thing. And we're gonna make it look a little brighter than it is now, with some highlights and stuff. But so you know, because we're coming near the end of the stream slowly, this is what I call practice and learning and all that kind of stuff. It's creating problems for myself and trying to solve them. And the accessory side of it is it's a post for Instagram, because I need to post often, but I also need to put good stuff, so it's always tricky, because when I do these I'm not focused on producing a fancy drawing or really amazing work. I'm focused on, like I said, creating problems and solving them. If it looks good, it's an added bonus. If I learn something, I've accomplished my mission. And we're nowhere near done, because we're gonna make this thing pop, and I'm gonna use a couple of cool pens. Anyway, let's get over this line work so that we can see it again. That's gonna help already. Okay, it's going to be time for some highlights. Now we have different tools. We got the Posca pen I showed you, which is super bright and opaque. We got this brush pen, much lighter. And we have what's basically chalk. So for the super high highlights, let me show you how the Posca works. It is crazy bright. It's basically white, opaque paint. So where the light really hits, I'm going to be using that. A bit too bright there, but... And now this much lighter one. For places like here. So it might be a little hard to see on camera, but this is really, really so much lighter. And then the advantage of this one here, it's like it's chalk. You can put it on the paper and then kind of fade it. And that's close to being it. Let's put some stars in the background to distract from the horrible marker work. You'll see what I'm doing with this in a second. There we go. Alright, is there any obvious fix to do before I attempt to photograph this poorly drawn spaceship? Alright, boys and girls. Well, that's a 2-hour stream. And it is done for today. I'm going to try and do these a couple of times a week, probably about the same time. Details will be posted on my Reddit at user yet another penguin, or in the stories of my Instagram, Penguin Studio. So keep an eye out. Thank you for dropping by. They're going to get better and better, hopefully. Today was just me getting back into it and me not having drawn for over a week. So, yeah, a bit rusty, but we'll get there. Anyway, thank you for dropping by. Take care, folks. That's all for today. Bye-bye.